Chapter 7, The Great Turkey Temptation. The turkey had rested, the gravy had thickened, the biscuits had risen like golden clouds gifted directly from the heavens. And for Steve, the magic capybara, it was pure unthinkable torture. He sat inside Abigail's closet, rocking back and forth, clutching a pair of fuzzy socks like emotional support marshmallows. "I cannot hold on much longer," Steve whispered, trembling. "The turkey, it calls me." Copper barked soothingly from outside the closet. "It's not your fault, Copper," Steve moaned. "You don't understand the sacred bond between a capybara and a perfectly roasted turkey." Abigail, braiding her hair into a neat Thanksgiving braid, peeked into the closet. "Steve," she whispered kindly, "you have to stay hidden. Dinner is in less than an hour." Steve gasped like she had just told him his favorite crayons were discontinued. "An hour!" "You survived all morning," she reminded him. "Barely!" Steve cried. "My spirit left my body at least twice." Copper rolled his eyes in fluent dog sarcasm. "Danger smells delicious." Downstairs was a swirling storm of pure holiday madness. Mom checked the turkey for the 15th time. Dad yelled, "Who moved the gravy?" Grandma rearranged the table centerpiece again and again and again. Christine McMonkeypants screamed every time her pineapple purse twitched. And Uncle Bingo? He was performing a full Broadway musical about sweet potatoes. The glorious smell of everything drifted upstairs, waves of warm, buttery temptation. Steve sniffed dramatically. "Abigail, the turkey is whispering again. It says, 'Steve, come find me.'" "No, it doesn't," Abigail sighed. Steve continued, "Steve, I am lonely on the counter." "No, only you understand my aroma. Steve," he sulked. "Fine, I'll stop listening." But his stomach growled like an angry bear with opinions. The temptation begins. Copper paced in front of the bedroom door like a very serious, very furry security guard. Steve, however, had grown sneaky. He cracked the closet door open. One eye peeked out, then the other. "I am just going to sniff the hallway," he whispered. "No," Abigail said. He froze like he'd been shot with a freeze ray. She pointed. "Absolutely not." He pointed back dramatically. "You cannot control my nose forever." She stepped forward. "Watch me." Steve wilted like overcooked asparagus, but the turkey smell drifted under the door again, warm, delicious, melodramatic. Steve trembled. "I cannot resist." He reached a paw toward the door. Copper barked. The warning bark. Steve yanked his paw back. Abigail glared, hands on hips. "Steve, you promised. Stay. Hidden." He puffed up. "You're right. I will be strong. I will be disciplined. I will be... Growl! My stomach disagrees." A fatal distraction. Abigail went downstairs to help with drinks. Copper followed for approximately 3 seconds. Then Copper's ears shot up. A sound. A forbidden sound. The closet door. Copper sprinted back upstairs like a furry rocket. But it was too late. The bedroom door was wide open. And Steve was gone. "No!" Copper barked, scandalized. He raced to the top of the stairs and saw Steve, waddling, determined, following the scent like a magical potato on a mission. "Steve!" Abigail shouted from downstairs. "Stop!" But Steve did not stop. He sniffed, raised his nose like a turkey-seeking antenna. "The turkey is near," he whispered. Abigail zoomed up the stairs. "Steve, get back in the room!" Steve continued. "I am drawn to it as a moth to a gravy-covered flame." Copper growled in exasperation. "Copper, don't be mad," Steve whispered. "If I do not survive, tell Abigail I loved her crayons." "Steve!" Abigail grabbed his cape. Steve wriggled free like a slippery potato ninja. He reached the top step. He leaned forward. Copper barked like his life depended on it. And then Grandma appeared at the bottom of the stairs. "Oh my!" she gasped. Everyone froze. Steve, Abigail, Copper. It was over. Grandma squinted. "What in the world?" Steve held his breath. Copper whimpered softly. Abigail mentally prepared to move to another state. Then Grandma smiled. "Oh, Copper, you got into the dress-up bin again wearing a cape and hat, you silly dog." Abigail nearly fainted from relief. Copper looked deeply insulted. Steve whispered, "That was too close." Too close. Abigail shoved him back upstairs at lightning speed. The hardest part, back in the bedroom, Steve collapsed dramatically onto the rug. "I almost became Thanksgiving roadkill," he moaned. Abigail sighed. "You can't run off like that. Dinner isn't ready yet." Steve stared at the ceiling. "I must be brave. I must be strong. I must be..." His stomach rumbled like distant thunder. "Not hungry, but oh, I am very hungry." Copper curled beside him protectively. Abigail sat on the bed. "We're almost there, Steve. Just a little longer." His eyes sparkled with heroic determination. "For you," he whispered, "I will resist the temptation." Preparing for dinner. "Downstairs," Mom called. "Dinner in 15 minutes." Steve shot upright. 15! That is a reasonable number. Abigail laughed. "Yes, Steve, 15. Steve pressed his paws together like a monk preparing for enlightenment. "I can do 15 minutes. I will do 15 minutes." Copper barked in support. Steve took a deep breath. "I will not chase the turkey. I will not sniff the turkey. I will not hug the turkey. I will." Abigail raised one eyebrow. Steve sighed. "Probably not hug the turkey." He stood tall, cape fluttering heroically. "Let the final test begin." Because now Steve faced the greatest challenge of all, not eating Thanksgiving dinner before the humans did.
Abigail danced in her polka dot boots, Steve by her side with his magic pursuits, a capybara with a sparkle and a twist, casting spells he could never resist. Oh Steve, the magical beast, a capybara wizard at every feast, with a twitch of his whiskers the world takes a spin. Abigail laughs as the cast begins. They turn the moon into a big balloon, floated past the stars, landed in Cancun. Steve said hola with a magical grin. Taco shells rained and the party began. He wiggled his nose, the maracas shook. Abigail sang from her spellbound book. Oh Steve, the magical beast, capybara wizard at every feast, with a twitch of his whiskers the world takes a spin. Abigail laughs as the cast begins. They wiggled his nose, the maracas shook. Abigail sang from her spellbound book. Oh Steve, the magical beast, a capybara wizard at every feast, with a twitch of his whiskers the world takes a spin. Abigail laughs as the cast begins. He made the rivers dance, the mountains hum, turned a pumpkin into a drum. Abigail said, "Steve, you're right, my friend. Let's never let this magic end."